Starting QuickTime.
Hello? Are we live? Haha.
Hello.
We're live. I fooled you all by not even being in the Discord. Now I'm in the Discord. How's it going, Molly?
Pretty good. You know how I don't know if this happens to you, but it happens to me every year where I get deep into the December doldrum and I'm just like, I can't imagine ever feeling like I want to work again. And this year it was particularly deep. I mean, I was just like, I am not inspired, and then I got sick right after the holiday and whatever. And as happens, and several times I gave myself a pep talk. I was like, every year, the motivation and the inspiration return. You just have to believe that they will. And I was like, I don't know though, man. Sure freaking enough, Monday. I ran a 10K on Sunday. I had been training for it, and I was like, even though I'm a little bit sick, I'm just gonna use it to push out the last of the sickness, which I think it actually did, as opposed to setting me back. Thank God. And then I just woke up on Monday, and I was like, let's go.
Nice.
And I just feel so great. And I've just had this great week of exciting incoming emails, and I feel like my old self. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm ready to rock. I worked out today. I'm just like, let's go. I'm doing dry January, which is probably because I accidentally tricked myself into doing dry January by getting sick on January 1st.
Oh, and then you didn't
And then I was sick for 11 days or whatever. Jeez. And so then I was like, well, okay, now it's January. Yesterday I was like, it's January 14th. I guess I'm doing this. Why not? Just keep going.
Yeah, you might as well finish up the month at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I've peeled off that outer layer of, alcohol fat.
You got over the DTs.
There's still plenty of cheese fat in there,
That takes longer.
Oh, my friend convinced me to sign up for this Orange Theory
transformation
challenge. And so I went in and had my body fat percentage. I was just like,
do you do the thing where you stand and you have to touch the electrodes? And
electrode thing. And I was like, but can I at least believe it's not very accurate? And then Claude was like, nope, it's pretty accurate actually. And I was like, damn it.
Damn you, Claude. I know you always tell me the truth, but why did you have to tell me the truth?
Why did you have to tell me the truth? And then I was like, yeah, but where do I fall? And it was like, oh, fine. You're fit and normal. And I was like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yep. Well, let's knock a show out.
More importantly, how are you? And then we should knock a show out.
I am not on fire.
You are safe. Exactly. I was like, you are safe. I know this because you're in your studio.
We are at the end of the wind event. That was the big worry. Yeah. So after we recorded last week, Friday night was the nerve-wracking time.
Yeah.
Because that's when the fire got close to our neighborhood. And that's when we packed our go bags in the car and we're keeping an eye on everything. Couldn't sleep very well. And then thankfully they held it back. And they kept holding it back. And then we were worried about the Santa Ana winds kicking back up yesterday. That has not ended up being a problem because thankfully they aren't as strong as last week and they're blowing towards the ocean or the stuff that already burned, which is actually good.
Yeah, no,
you want it to blow it into where there's no fuel because then that'll help put it out faster. So they've been holding off removing eevacuation warnings and evacuation orders until these winds were over. So we'll find out shortly, because I've been watching the fire briefings from CAL FIRE. And let me tell you, they are wonderful. Do not watch anything else but those if you really want to know what's going on, because they're going to be honest and they're going to not pull punches, but they're also going to be optimistic where it's warranted. And anyway, they've been saying look, we know you all want to get back in your homes. We want you to get back in your homes, but it needs to be safe. So we need to make sure there's not a fire risk and we need to build the infrastructure back. And so today is when I expect them to hear them say all right, we've got a week before the winds kick back up. Here's our timeline for that kind of thing. So, that'll be good.
Yeah. Dang. God, it's so harrowing.
Yeah. But I just drove over to the post office and, sent something to a friend of mine and everything felt perfectly normal right now. So, yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's not normal where the fire is. Don't get me wrong, but
there's so much not normal.
The sky is blue. There's not smoke hanging everywhere. So yeah,
that's good.
I'll take
it. Exactly. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I have friends and family who have lost their houses. It's not great, but it's not getting worse.
Yes, exactly. I mean, honestly, we're at the point where I think that's the best thing you can say.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not
It's
getting
funny.
worse.
I feel worse talking to people not from LA than people when I'm like talking to neighbors and stuff. We're all like, yeah, do you know this person, this person? We're all sharing our stories, and then feeling like cautiously optimistic. Whereas when I talk with people from outside, they're just horrified.
Right, totally. And you're just like, we're kind of turning the corner, you guys. Like,
Yeah,
this is-
I mean, we're sort of.
Right.
So yeah. Yesterday, as the wind was kicking up, City sent LADWP out and just checking power lines, just like if there needed to be something trimmed back, trim it back.
yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. All right. Well, let's
All
do
right.
this show.
Yeah.
Let's just
we should
turn
clap.
the mood corner. Okay.
Yeah. In 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2.
Give it to me.
Hey, everyone. I'm Molly Wood.
And I'm Tom Merritt.
Welcome to It's a Thing, the weekly podcast supported by you that is self-funded, self-released, self-produced, and self-referential. Our 11th season has a big tense sound with all the requisite wit and panache. Thanks for joining us.
And thank you, Pitchfork, for the basis of what is in fact perfectly applicable to our show.
Not terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it actually?
It is, in fact, based on the 2024 review of the album All Hell by Los Campesinos.
Oh, Los Campesinos.
In fact,
I
they
don't know
say it
them.
is unquestionably the ultimate Los Campesinos album.
Yeah,
So there you go.
as this is the ultimate episode of It's a Thing until we make the next one.
And I guess now we're doing album review summaries, which I love.
I love
Shout
that.
out producer
Yep.
Rich.
Well done, Rich. Rich is not around today. He's got some other stuff going on, but salute him when you see him in the Discord or on social media. My first thing is one of those things where on TikTok or elsewhere you're concerned. A lot of times these concerns aren't actually grounded in reality, but
What?
they become hilarious anyway, where people are like, I don't know. I think I got shadow banned because I said the word drone. And maybe it's happening. A lot of times people just think it's happening because their thing didn't take off with the algorithm, and there's so many reasons why it might not.
Right.
But nevertheless, alternative words are then put in use, and everyone starts using them because it's kind of funny to use that word instead of the actual word. And in the case of drone, the word became Dior bag, as in Christian Dior.
That is amazing. And I want to read the think piece about like who came up with it. Who found this?
On December 23rd, Bethany Frankel
yes.
posted
Oh,
a video
really?
in which she was discussing Dior bags, saying the Dior bags are real, after believing that a few of her posts about drones, the New Jersey drones, had been spiked by TikTok. So she started calling them Dior bags. She had previously referred to them as the letter D. But the video in which she first called them Dior bags received 4.8 million plays by the
my
algorithm
God.
because it likes Dior, I'm guessing.
Exactly. It likes Dior. That is hilarious. And I love it.
Yeah.
Dior bags are real. Bethany Frankel wasn't lying. The fact that too this has this Venn diagram of internet culture doublespeak, which is never not fascinating.
No.
And also Bethany Frankel, who apparently in our lifetimes will never not be famous, even though we'll never know why,
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. I think there's a 27% chance that her video was spiked for talking about drones. I think there's a chance.
Right.
I think there's probably
non-zero.
lots of other reasons, but there's a decent chance that she's right about that. I think there's like a 97% chance that this video took off because she mentioned Dior bags.
So true. It's God, the internet is so weird. We are in such a weird place right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord. Did you hear? I'm sure you already talked about this on your show, but the fact that like the TikTok kids who are mad about the ban are using like a China language app or something. Like
yeah.
they're all
Xiaohongshu.
migrating. Yeah.
Little Red Book.
Little Red Book.
I actually
There you
have
go.
one right here. Yeah, Eileen signed up for it. I have an interview that's on the Daily Tech News Show briefing tomorrow with Tony Wang producer Tony Wang, who has been using RedNote, which is the English name for it, for
Right.
5 years, almost 6. And so I talked to him like, what was it like when all the TikTok people poured in?
I mean, seriously. Well, and just the fact that it's like we were worried about Chinese propaganda, so we're going to ban TikTok. And then as a result, all the TikTok kids are going to go learn Chinese. And
I
use
think
the
the other
China.
aspect of that that's so funny is that
Great job,
TikTok has
America.
been trying really hard to get people to go to its other app that isn't going to be banned anytime soon, Lemon 8.
Right.
And the TikTokers
and
are
everyone's
like,
oh, no.
No, that's too obvious. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay. Well, speaking of the weird time in history that we are at on the internet, I want to acknowledge up front the possibility that I may be telling on myself
Okay.
by bringing this as a thing. However, several of these things I've actually never seen in my feed. So I feel confident that it's
That
not
you're
just me.
totally telling on yourself.
I'm not
Yeah.
totally telling on myself. But dude, the internet is horny
Mm.
and thirsty edits of baking. Like there are literally guys who do these bakery videos that are just like porn. Like they slap the dough and they lick the avocado and there's like music and they're like really buff and they do these like dramatic like
Are they wearing overalls with no shirt underneath? Is it like
like
that?
just an apron?
Yeah.
Like just an apron and then a bunch of muscles and no shirt under the apron. Like, yeah, super weird, thirsty, porny baking videos that I find them absolutely cringe. And I only realized that they had become such a huge thing because there's like a really funny gardener guy on TikTok who is spoofing them with gardening
okay.
things. Like he slaps the bag of soil and stuff and then he tried to lick the soil and was like, I'm put. You know, he's like, good
That's
job,
great.
buddy.
Yep.
And then there's all these like videos of rugby guys working out. Here's how they work out. And then like hockey guys doing hip workouts, but with like porny music. And like, I'm just like, what is up with the thirsty ass edits of everything? Everybody clearly knows what they're doing here. And I don't know why. And I am convinced that it's because of the romantasy crossover. I believe
yeah.
that this is all content that is being created with the idea that there are all these horny women who are reading these like fairy smut books. And I say that with love because I am not judging us.
Yeah.
Anyway, I
mean-
think that there's a whole like cottage industry of content that's basically
Yeah.
to serve
No,
like
that-
horny like book TikTok.
That makes sense. Because,
Book
I mean,
talk,
it is the inevitable outcome that if you pursue engagement to its logical end, it will end in porn. Plenty of things avoid that ending. You know, they need a little push along the way to get past prudishness. And that could be the push. Romantasy could be the push.
I think romancy might be the push. Like
Yeah.
just the idea that there's clearly an audience for that of women who go straight from the smut to the TikTok, book talk girlies.
Yeah.
Book talk girlies consuming horny content, I think, is the meta thing here.
Is the name of this episode.
Is also the name of this episode.
if we want any
Absolutely.
kind of SEO.
At all. The baking ones are just cringy. I will say that
Yeah.
the rugby and the hockey ones, they don't not work.
Well, because the baking ones are a little bit parody ready, right?
Right.
Like, okay, that's, but the rugby and the hockey ones sounds like these are just people doing rugby and hockey things. They're just adding music and slow motion and effects and stuff to accentuate them, right?
Oh God, they're so cringy. Oh,
That's funny.
The baking ones are so upsetting. One of the gardener ones, the first one that I saw,
Uh-huh.
his caption said, "I think that avocado needs a lawyer." Because he just went with the tongue and the avocado. It was so upsetting to see. I was like, I'm with him.
Yeah.
Somebody sign up to represent the avocado.
The California avocado, or Mexican, either one.
Maybe either
There's
way.
great avocados
It
from
did
all over
not
the world.
deserve that. Yeah.
No, yeah,
Did
wherever
not.
it was from. Side note, did you know that there's a group of people, and I don't have all the details, so don't press me too hard, but I saw that there's a group of people, Sword and Laser listener tipped me off to this, who are trying to accuse Sarah J. Maas of appropriating Welsh culture.
And shut up. Oh, I'm sorry. Has every fantasy book ever
Doesn't make it right, Molly.
It has
Doesn't
like
make it right.
I mean, haven't you noticed that all the maps in the beginning of every book are Europe? Like
Yeah.
all of them.
But Wales is, I mean, I don't want
Sorry,
to get
the
too far into it because I
continent. I just
don't know
mean the
what the
continent.
what the arguments are. But Wales is oppressed, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Wales was one of the first countries England conquered, and it took away its royal family. Like
Nope.
they've got a history.
Yeah, totally.
So,
I did see this headline about it, and I was like, nope, I'm 100%
Yeah,
not engaging in that ever.
yeah.
Ever.
So instead, we'll just call that entire conversation blurst.
Tell me more.
Want to bring this one to your attention.
hilarious.
Blurst. I actually saw this being used on Know Your Meme to refer to an image of a person in a Jollibee mascot suit, Jollibee, the Filipino fast food chain, where you could see their eye in the Jollibee character's eye. So it's kind of creepy. And it's called the Blurst Jollibee mascot suit. But of course, that immediately made me go, well, Blurst is a thing. If there's sub things of Blurst on Know Your Meme. And yeah, turns out Blurst refers to an image that is simultaneously blessed and cursed. Dates back all the way to October 14th, 2016 on Twitter, with an image of a person in an ambiguously food-shaped costume smiling and drinking wine. But it really didn't catch on until January 2018, according to Know Your Meme.
Fascinating. I have not seen it, so I'm happy that you brought it to our attention because news to me,
Yeah.
internet, y'all be crazy.
Good one to know, though. And keep an eye out for it, because you'll see some people talking about something that's blurst, and now you'll know what they
Absolutely.
mean.
Also, I looked at the Jollibee image and
It's creepy, right?
that is just cursed. Like, come on.
At first, you're like, what? It's just the Jollibee character. And then you look at the eye and you're like, whoa,
Yeah,
that person
that's-
is trapped in there. That's a soul.
That sees right into my soul too. I don't like
And then you're
it.
trapped, and now you're in the Jollibee costume.
I don't
No.
want to be. All right, my second thing is not from the internet, for crying out loud. It is
Okay.
It is a little I'm just stamping it because I want you all to know that I know that it's a thing. And that thing is faux fur jackets.
Okay.
Which have been growing in popularity a little bit. There was the teddy coat, and then we're seeing a little bit more. But now the faux fur jacket, there was one at Target that in like November-ish went absolutely crazy viral. Like everybody had to have it. People were making videos of themselves finding it, like saying where it was, which Target it was at,
Oh,
trying
wow.
it
It's
on,
one of those. Like, I'm on the
raving
hunt.
about it. One of the funniest ones I saw was like these two people being like, you know, that jacket, don't buy it. You don't want it. Don't buy it. And they're like
The
putting it
vocal
on.
fry, man. It's
Yeah,
so good.
just like
buy
don't. It said don't buy it, baby. No, baby, don't buy it. And they're putting in the whole, like it comes in gray and this weird cream. Don't buy, and they're putting it.
Uh-huh. That's
It is so that jacket was a huge sensation, leading to like this week's Refinery 29 piece about all the places you can find a really luxe faux fur jacket. And so I'm just stamping it now while winter lasts, that especially like a cropped one,
Oh, yeah, I see that.
cropped faux fur jacket is the jam. And I live in California, and so there's no real reason to buy one. Like this is the only, it's going to get cold for a month in February, but I might just see if they have that Target one.
I mean, it does look nice and warm for your morning dog walk or something, right?
I know, the Target one's so cute. Yeah, but we all just rock the Patagonia puppy. Like there's a look.
Oh my gosh. In the fire briefings that they do, there's a person who comes up during one of them. They're not there for all of them, but they're talking about recovery resources, and like where you can go for housing and food and all of that. And she's always wearing Patagonia. You got all these firefighters in their uniforms and everything, and then you get her coming up there in the Patagonia. I'm like, yep, that's the uniform. There
Like
you go.
there she is. That's the uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I need a more fabulous dog walk routine. Maybe it's time
Maybe. Yeah.
to level up with this Target faux fur.
Can be really chilly
Viral
in the
jacket,
morning. You want to look
if
good
I
on the
can
dog
find it.
walk? Yeah.
It's true. You
Go for
never
the
know
faux
who's
fur.
going to be driving by.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll try to find it. But yes, the faux fur jacket is the look of the winter. It is now, by the way, on clearance on Target, but they don't have
Oh.
any sizes. So
Yeah. Because that's why it's on clearance. They're like, these are the sizes that no one is. And
they have-
therefore we didn't sell
exactly.
it yet.
You can get medium or XXL.
XXL. All right, let's get to the feedback at itsthing.me. Andrew on a Noctourism backlash potential. I love this idea. Andrew writes, Tom, Molly, and Rich, I predict that if Noctourism takes off in the next few months, there will be a big online backlash around mid-July. Why? Because the days are so long, especially at the places you want to see the night sky. My wife and I love visiting national parks in the summer, and I love stargazing, but I've never been able to successfully combine the two. We get up and hike, explore the area, and then at 10, there's still light in the sky, and you just can't fathom staying up any longer. Or maybe it's just me.
Okay, that's actually hilarious and kind of true. That's kind of true.
And then,
It's a
yeah, if you're
problem.
going up to the places with the auroras, they get the, the 24-hour day. So you're like,
Right. Oh,
oh,
yeah,
wait,
you
there's no
can't, yeah.
night. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just have to plan to only be partying at night. You got to
Yeah.
cut out the daytime hike. Sorry. That's why they call it
Exactly. You can't-
Noctourism.
You can't do a daytime hike when you're noctouring.
No, you're not touring, man. Just accept it. Just
That's what they call the noctouring test.
I mean, I should have known,
You shouldn't laugh either.
and I shouldn't laugh, but still, it's a thing. Cece wrote in on Watch Duty and says, I cannot claim to be one of the first users of Watch Duty, as I found out about it last summer when half of Idaho was on fire, but I have indeed told all my friends and family about it, and it has been incredibly useful. My friends in Idaho and Oregon find it indispensable.
Oh yeah, multiple times a day. It is absolutely, and the links to the actual direct content from Cal Fire that I find on Watch Duty, indispensable. We Eileen and I now are fans of Commander Christian Litz because he's the one that is like no BS.
Hilarious.
there was-
There are Watch Duty content celebs already.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Breakout characters.
Yeah. Peg in Seattle on a potential thing. I know from Skim, but these nails? And then a link to scrapbook nail art manicure trend on Refinery 29. Cannot
Oh, boy.
confirm, but bet you might be able to.
Wow.
I
We'll
haven't
see.
seen these exactly, but
It is listed as the retro manicure trend that will be everywhere in 2025, though. So I guess we're officially on the lookout.
and it's from Park Eun Kyung, aka Unistella, who is the manicurist for Jenny from Blackpink and G Dragon from Big Bang.
Well, all right. Then
So,
I think
scrapbook
we
nails.
can say nailed it.
Nailed it.
And oh my goodness.
Yes, indeed.
Also, boy, the like minimalist manicure trend that I think I pointed to, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago or whatever. And I personally am still rocking. Like I'm on a solid beige
Yep.
oval,
nude nail.
kind of almond nude nail. Yeah, but nail art, nail culture, still going strong.
Nice.
Very strong, especially now that we know you could get like a little baby bear doodle and a froggy. These
Yeah.
are cute, by the way. Those
Scrapbooks. Yeah.
scrapbook nails are cute. And then finally, Matt Bat wrote in on a new donation thing. I've seen 2 examples, so obviously it's a thing. Elon said, don't donate to Wikipedia, and they got record donations. Elon said to defund the Sierra Club, and the Sierra Club used it to ask for donations.
So the trick is get the person who everyone on your side of the aisle thinks is awful to say, don't support the thing you like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, I think
That
that
tracks.
maybe the identification of the thing could use some editing here, but yeah, I think it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's
All
a
right,
thing.
let's get to our shout outs. We have lots of shout outs because we have lots of top supporters, and we're very grateful for that. These are the folks who support us at the top level at patreon.com/it's a thing. And in response, Rich Straffolino creates very custom shout outs, not just like, hey, thanks, Brian, but like shout outs based on Furious.com's The Worst Musical Refuse of the 70s.
So also shout outs, we love you, and apologies in advance.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Brian John Porcaro, a Neil Young imitation in voice only.
Morris Jones, he thought he could improve on Smokey.
Benjamin Forrest, really big during the Gulf War.
Lee Price, I am proud to say that I got through my newlywed years without once thinking of this after our reception.
Oh God, he just gets worse and worse. Kevin Sill, I always thought this would be a good tune for post-operative lobotomites to learn.
Eric Duncan, these guys were actually funny, but maybe that was just Shel Silverstein.
Jake Woods, Jackie Wilson is doing somersaults in his grave.
Gabrielle Cohen, good enough for Coca-Cola.
Oh boy. S-Dub Texas, does this guy sound constipated or what? Ooga choka.
I think I know what that one was. Laura Abel, if John Denver can be country, I guess she can too.
Valor Trucks, Andrew Dice Clay did a funnier version.
Yikes.
Yikes.
AB Puppy, really dopey title. It makes about as much sense as Toys R Us. Which makes perfect sense. What are you talking about?
Joe Hood, file under Where Are They Now?
Louis St. Amour, see what happens when you ditch Linda Ronstadt.
Mike Akins, thanks for the weather report, but it does actually.
And James C. Smith, this actually rocked a little bit still.
I'm sorry, but they, the Ooga Chaka thing did not age well. Cause
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic now.
now I want to know what they all are because I bet we love them all.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm
I'm hooked on It's a Thing.
hooked on a feeling. I'm hooked on our patrons is what I'm hooked on.
Me too.
Patreon.com/It's a Thing. I have already violated my 2025 resolution of saying this before the feedback, so I'm going to change the script next week. But please support the show at any level you can. Only if you have not already supported all of your friends' GoFundMe's to help support people who lost their houses in the fire in LA.
Indeed, indeed.
Do
You
that
can also
first.
send us those emails, feedback@itsathing.me.
See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
The moon's beating. I take my high. Give it to me.
Antagonistic donation. I like that, Saray TW.
Ooh.
It's a good one. I was thinking like oppositional defiant donations, but yours is pithier.
Antagonistic donation. Yeah.
Antagonistic donation. Yeah. Oppositional donation, I guess, would work. That's shorter.
Mm-hmm.
These nails are cute.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know what took me so long to discover acrylics, by the way.
oh, really?
'Cause
Yeah.
Instead of just having like gel that you have to take off and ruin your nails all the time, I literally have basically the exact same manicure that I've had since September. And
Yeah,
I just go
and
in
it's
and
just
they pile
there.
it down a little and put some more back on top. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And it looks so pretty.
I don't have a similar story to share.
I don't know what it's going to take for me to get this jacket.
My nails are so natural.
So now they just are naturally natural.
Yeah.
what
They're
they
the
are.
naturaliest natural.
Don't buy it.
So
Baby.
I sent a special gift to Brett Rounceville because he sort of half jokingly asked for it, but you might want it too. I don't know. And if you do, I will make you one. It is a green Los Angeles Dodgers hat where I bought an A's hat and cut out the apostrophe S and glued it after the A.
So wait, it's a green Dodgers
So it
hat.
says LA's.
Oh, wow. That's incredible, honestly. I don't want it because of the pain, but that is
Brett was like, if somebody makes that, you'll sell a ton of them.
you will sell a ton of those, honestly. Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm not making a ton of them, but I did make one for Brett.
Oh my God, that is so sweet.
I just
Plus,
put
Brett
it in
is
the mail.
The greatest.
Yeah. He is. He is. You should go check out Yes More and
You
Company
definitely should.
if you haven't yet. They started back up for the
I know.
regular
Oh, I know.
stuff. Yeah.
I almost bought the like
Oh yeah.
weird little lime tequila stuff or whatever, and then I was like, no, focus up.
January.
Yeah. I mean, I really was just like, ooh, no, nope.
No. January. Don't start spending yet.
Hooked on
We,
a feeling. Ba, ba, da, ba.
So good news and bad news on the changes to DTNS. We added a show, so you now have a choice if you want the 30-minute tight dare I say, buzz out loudish version. Or if you want the hour-long discussion roundtable-y version. And the good news is the number of people signing up for the new one, the new feed is great. Like we're seeing good uptake. We're seeing lots of new patrons come in. That's all wonderful. The bad news is Patreon decided to F up its RSS feeds. So we've got a bunch of people like confused because there's new shows in the Patreon feed. And they're like, well, am I not supposed to get that one? Because the RSS feed isn't delivering it. And it's been a whole
dear
mess.
God.
Yeah.
Aw. I'm sorry.
But at least they haven't responded to any of my support tickets.
yeah. It's a hit or miss kind of situation, huh? Over there.
The good news is I have a friend who got someone to respond to his support ticket.
Oh,
So maybe I did it wrong.
I don't think so. And also, if there's anyone they should respond to again, they can say.
Yeah, I'm used to that.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah. But it looks like maybe
it'll
it's
get
fixed
sorted.
today. My suspicion has been that most of the support staff is on vacation while the engineers are still working, and the engineers are like, yeah, we know, we're busy fixing it. They don't have time to tell anyone.
That could be, I suppose. But still,
Yeah.
send an email.
Somebody should be there to send an email.
It'll get sorted soon. I mean, really, people are barely creeping back to work, I think.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part of it.
Yeah.
And it will be sort of worth it if it ends up being the reason that it was all messed up is that they were preparing to offer multiple feeds in one Patreon, because that's the thing we've wanted on DTNS for a long time. So
Oh.
people could go like, yeah, I just want this version.
Yeah.
You know,
That actually would be pretty cool. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Prayers up, sir.
I can't even cross my fingers right now. What's wrong?
Why?
There we go. I don't know. I tried to do it and it just went like that.
I was going to say, like, are you puffy? Like, what?
There. And just
Yikes.
I need to stretch my fingers. They're stiff.
I need to figure out why I ended up having lunch at 3:47 today. Somehow today did not. Because now I'm like, all right, well, now it's 5. And I'm like, are we having dinner at all?
Yeah, we run into that sometimes, especially because I'm pretty good about eating lunch before DTNS, just because I will run out of steam if I don't.
I was
So
going to
I'm
say,
like,
yeah, you need the
I-
energy, yeah.
And so since Eileen's been working at home since 2020, she'll usually eat with me, but there are those days when she's like busy or she's got a doctor's appointment or whatever, and she eats on her own, and it'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't eat until 2:30, so I'm not hungry yet, and then we have to do that dance.
Yeah. I got to figure out that dance tonight. Whatever. These are very small problems. It's just that I still do sort of intermittent fasting. So I have to be done eating by 8.
Girl dinner at 7:45.
Girl dinner at 7:45. Boom.
Done.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe I'll like put on my little weighted vest. Maybe I'll just be full girly night, put on my little weighted vest and scamper over to the market and get myself some little cheese and crackers. Although really, no more frickin' cheese. Dear God.
How much more could you take?
On Sunday, I'm going to a raclette party. Like, apparently cheese is just my new bloodstream.
You bleed brie.
Yeah, clearly my veganism has gone real far into the half-ass territory.
Still vegetarian, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the other thing that bugs me, and it only partly bugs me because there's so many good reasons why this could be. But Tavala canceled my meal delivery this Monday and next Monday because of the wildfires.
Oh,
Now, at first I was like, well, hold on. The post office is delivering. FedEx is like, but, and I'm not canceling it in certain areas would make sense, but not this one. But they use a gig working system. And I'm wondering if that gig working system just doesn't have the personnel,
yeah.
So,
I was actually pretty surprised that they were like we watched the Lakers game the other night, and my son was saying he was a little surprised, and I was too, that they held it. in LA, because I was thinking like it just feels like it would be hard to get staff there. I mean, I know, like obviously it is a huge city and there are parts where it doesn't feel like there's a fire, but it also is still super disruptive to infrastructure and people and employees and,
That I'll say, like when I landed on Thursday, things were working.
Yeah.
The fires are on the edges of the city, not in the center, so it doesn't affect the ability to move things around. It's more a matter of health and respect. Health would be air quality, and the air quality has been good.
Right.
Since late last week, the air quality has actually been good. So there's not that issue. Then it's like, is it okay to be like cheering a basketball game when you've got
Right,
people
yeah.
who've lost their house? And
That is
that's a
like-
whole different question.
Right, I'm not having that one though.
But practically speaking, there's no problem having the game. People can get there. Like that's
Yeah.
not an issue. And then, with the Grammys, I think what they're doing is interesting. They canceled all the parties and they're going to focus on fundraising during the Grammys. So they're going
that's
to
pretty cool.
They're going to give the awards and I think have performances, but then the messages in between will be, here's where you can support people, here's where you can donate, all of that kind of thing. I'm like, okay, that's a good move.
That's cool. I like that. I like it. All right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
going to go knock out some show notes for my special series, everyone. Tomorrow is going to be a trailer, but I'm launching. We should do this on DTNS. I'm relaunching Everybody in the Pool this year with a 4-part series on AI and data centers.
Oh, fantastic.
AI and climate, like energy
Yeah.
usage and innovation around data centers. And I have NVIDIA, AWS. I've got a fusion company that wants to co-locate next to data centers. And then I just did the coolest interview today with this lady who was at Microsoft for 4.5 years in charge of their regenerative data center design program. Oh my God. It was so fascinating. It's so interesting.
So when does that launch?
It officially launches a week from Thursday. A trailer drops tomorrow.
Okay. Maybe next
So the
week.
23rd.
Next week we do a pre-record for you that would run either on the 22nd or the 23rd, and I just do 5 minutes with you telling me the highlights of like,
Sure.
I learned this, I learned that, I learned that. You're going to learn that and more. Check it
Yeah.
out.
That would be awesome because it's like
Yeah.
fully good crossover content here.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's end the stream and then we can schedule it.
Okay, great.
All right.
Okay, team.
Thanks everybody.
See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.